Yeah, I mean it all, as little, boy, like growing up in Trelawney, wait a bit. We had like a family, unit, and outside we had like a kitchen. So everybody would gather in like the kitchen and just talk. And then my first taste of flavor was from my, granny, who used to turn her like cake in a bowl, and I would stick my, finger in it and taste it. So that was my first like taste of like, sweetness and flavor, and listening to family talking about food and gathering. So whenever it comes to food, my thing is all about a vibe. It's not just something you look at. It's creating a cultural vibe about who you are, your family, where you're from, what the needs are, Well, I always had a speech, impediment. I stuttered. So my, mother was always concerned. I need to find a job that does not require like talking, which back then, was kind of a joke. But so I started to learn a lot from her, learning about how to cook rice. I used to burn a lot of rice, and then being in like college, I used to just cook. And the guys in college like, you should turn this into a real job, profession. So automatically I just applied to culinary school because I was having a hard time communicating with, people in a regular like setting. So restaurants did not require a lot of talking. It's like, yes, chef, no chef, A lot of things have evolved in terms of techniques, as opposed to everybody cooking things fast and just grabbing things. I think people are thinking about the actual process that yields a greater end, result. There's still like a lot of room, I think, for like improvement, because when you look at a place like Miami, our next door neighbor, they still can run like circles around us. But there's a lot of underground culture of cooking that people still push to like the side. And that to me, as a cook, is some of the best like food. To just drive up and I'm gonna roast a piece of yam and sawfish. That's the best thing ever. You know what I mean? So I think people like them have to be documented. I think how we grew up, our grandmothers, our granny, our auntie, their way of cooking, of seasoning, of treating food, we don't see that anymore. Everything is fast and overly like done. Back then it was just more controlled and much more refined. I think there's a lot of room for reclaiming what took place then and helping it to influence what is need to be taking place now. A person look at me and say, oh, what do you do? I'll go down a list. But to be a chef is not my primary goal. To be someone that goes back into the countryside or go in a garrison and see how a person run a boat or cook food, that's my joy at this like stage, because I can still ease back and cook at any like level, but it's hard to ease back and recapture like a lost, art form. So that's my passion and like goal right now. Yes, I am, Conroy, Arnold, also known as the, Stuttering, chef. At least you got that part in it to, validate my existence.